Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is Attorney Sharp Raleigh. I wanted to bring to your attention a very interesting article on the Atlantic, and it's written by. Let me see. I think I will find the name, but I'll give it to you. But it's called "Testing the Federal Power Over Immigration." I'll put the link at the bottom of this video. But I wanted to address this situation because, first of all, it's really causing um, it is causing really a frustration in the United States, especially for people who are Muslims. Are they going to be banned? As you know, Donald Trump mentioned that he will pass a ban on Muslims, and later he retracted, saying only people coming in, and then later he said extreme vetting. God knows what really he means, but he got a lot of momentum by saying that. A lot of people were cheering when he was saying that, of course, and we know the reasons they were cheering. But that's not the issue. The issue, can it pass the constitutional muster? I did a video before stating that I think yes he can if he does it in a very kind of tricky way. And this writer here kind of is stating that no, he will probably not be able to do it because that will create a lot of issues. And now there's a case before the U.S. Supreme Court, which is called the case of Lynch versus Morales Santana. And that case basically is a child who was born to one father who is a US citizen but was an illegitimate child, and the mother was not a US citizen, and that complicates the situation. If you're born directly, depending on the timing you're born, I'm not going to go into those details, you can be a direct citizen, or if your mother is not a US citizen, then there are some other rules that you have to meet. But what he's saying is he's contesting this rule of the U.S. citizenship, stating that it is unfair because it discriminate based on sex. That means the mother has, if the mother was a U.S. citizen, he would have been automatically a U.S. citizen. But since the mother is not a U.S. citizen, he's not automatically a U.S. citizen based on that law what was prevailing at that time, because now it has changed. So now the question is, um, how does this case affect ultimately the decision of the Supreme Court if a law was passed to ban Muslims from the United States? Well, I'm covering here from, this is the website of the Scottish website, which is the Supreme Court, U.S. Supreme Court, and the U.S. citizenship has a lot of ways to be a citizen. Of course, you can be naturalized or you can be born U.S. citizen, and there are many. For example, if you're one of your right now at this point, the U.S. Under the current laws, if you are a father of a child and you are a U.S. citizen, that child is a U.S. citizen. By default. However, before, those laws over time have changed. Actually, every 10 years, kind of, it has changed. And before, the rules were a little bit different, and that's what they were talking about there. But going back to our topic, how much will Muslims be affected if a law was passed to ban Muslims inside the United States? My position is that it is possible if it is done under those famous secret act, and also under national security. At such, just like Lincoln suspended the habeas corpus, also under the Chinese Exclusion Act, like you see here, they mentioned that there is a chance that they can at least not maybe deport Muslims, but there's a chance of at least putting them in internment camps. And that's the scary part of it, because the thing is that there was a trend even before Donald Trump from some Congress people who wanted to actually do that, stating that they need to basically filter pretty much every Muslim, and that's kind of a little bit tricky considering that most of the aggression is not being done by Muslims. So that's the part which I wanted to kind of analyze here. How much will a law banning Muslim from United States stand muster? Well, the author here is looking at it from a perspective of a U.S. citizen, But I'm going to look at it from a perspective of a non-US citizen. How much can they pass muster? I think it will, because first of all, under national security, many of those visas, let's consider visas like B1, B2 visas, visitor visas, F1 visas, you name it. If, for example, the law is attached to a country, a specific country, stating that there are high level of terrorism there, they don't want to allow anybody to come to the United States and don't issue the visitor visa, which is at the discretion of the US State Department. They can it can be done. And the same thing will apply for F1 visas, student visas. It can apply for H1Bs. It can apply for pretty much all the non-immigrant visas. Now, for the green card, that's a different story, especially if there are family ties involved in there, where basically families petition, for example, a husband petitioning for a wife, or if a child petitioning for their a U.S. citizen child petitioning for their parents. That can be a little bit more difficult. But having said that, I've seen cases where if there are ties to terrorism, that they cannot make it in the United States or don't even get a green card. So the question is that if there is a redefinition of all those rules, there's a chance that Donald Trump will successfully block you Muslims outside the United States. As for those who are inside, I don't really know how much he can really hurt people here. But for those who are not U.S. citizens, yes, it is highly possible. And I think although the author of this article is in good faith, really looking at the good side of the system, there is also a dark side. And my answer to him is, unfortunately, for those who are not US citizen, yes, it will be possible and it is doable, because we've seen it in our field where a lot of cases are stuck at the US embassy, or even people who are not allowed to do adjustment of status get a green card because of ties to terrorism, or because of background security check is not clearing. Having said that, we hope that this will not become the norm, because these are exceptions, and we are not going to be a country which bar people just based on their religion. America is a welcoming country, no matter how much there are conflicting views, and that's what's beautiful about it. You can be conflicted in your views, you can disagree, and that's what's the beauty of the American legal system. We wish everybody best of luck for those applying, and if you need help on any immigration, please any immigration matter, please give us a call at 510-742-5887, or visit us at attorneyonair.com. And anything I'm telling you today is for educational purposes only. You should not act or refrain to act solely on the information provided. You should contact an attorney if you have any question. And